Hello, fellow cosmonauts. Welcome to today's video about the full moon in Libra that's happening this April. I'm Jamie Kale Miller of Pandora Astrology in Berkeley, California, and with me is...
Hey guys, I'm Julia Mijas, also Pandora, and I'm located in San Francisco.
Well, this particular moon features Pallas Athene and Pluto and Saturn and Juno. Now, the full moon, as we're both of us, Julia and I, very fond of saying, is very much about relationships. It's very much about polarity. And so full moons can be times of high emotion because they are so relational and they can pit people into opposition with each other. And there are plenty of reasons to get into conflict despite the peace-loving nature of the Libra moon because of Pluto's influence. But there's also plenty of harmony in this moon as well. So this is the first full moon after the spring equinox. This is the first full moon of the new year, considering that it starts in spring. And it's a moon that has a lot of beauty in it, a lot of harmony, a lot of tranquility, and that's because it's in Libra. And then that is supported by Saturn and Juno, both of which are really social. And actually, Julia, I'd love to hear you say something about that because I know that you have a lot of thoughts about Saturn being a social planet.
Oh, yes. Yes, Saturn. Sorry. Couldn't tell if there was a sneeze coming.
Okay, right?
Yes, Saturn is, Saturn can represent society at large. It's rulership that everyone agrees on is Capricorn, and the traditionals also say it rules Aquarius. Either way, Aquarius is kind of a social sign because it's air. But yeah, it represents sort of the greater forces outside the individual. And if you think about it, on the zodiac wheel, opposite Leo and Cancer are Aquarius and Capricorn, the two traditional rulerships of Saturn. So they oppose the very individual personal planets. It's kind of like the tension between who you are as a person versus who you are in society. That's kind of how I see Saturn's role.
Yeah, and how you feel inside, and that's like the sign of Cancer, and how you must behave on the outside, and that's Capricorn. So yeah, I mean, like Saturn's rulership of Capricorn speaks to the rules and the laws that we all must follow to be in a well-regulated society, but Aquarius is all about like other people's opinions of us and, being brought into line in the group in a social sense. So this Saturn during this moon has a lot of regulation to kind of bring in, but it brings it in a harmonious way. So it's almost like saying that under this moon, we're going to want to show some positive social behavior. We're going to want to run with the herd.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? What was it, Julia?
We're going to want to be civilized. We've got Libra, we've got Saturn, easy aspects from Saturn, which are very civilizing too.
Yeah, and Juno as well. What are your thoughts about that, Julia?
Juno kind of reinforces the relational nature of this full moon because it really like adds some exclamation points to the theme of relationships, and the fact that both Juno, Saturn are forming those easy aspects. They're very sort of stabilizing and commitment oriented and sort of
Yeah, definitely. So that's the restraint part of this transit. Which is pretty harmonious and easeful. And then there's the intimacy part of this moon, which is, I think, due largely to the stress introduced by Pluto, and also particularly the way that Pluto placed in a square with Pallas Athene creates stress. Because like this, Pallas Athene is just such an archetype of independence, in particular feminine independence. Pallas Athene is a culture bearer kind of deity in the pantheon. That's the kind of deity that will show up in a region and bestow upon the people everything that they need to succeed and survive in that region. Like, will deliver the olive tree, or, show them how to cure their food in a brine, or mash the maize into tortillas. These sorts of things are what culture bearers do. And Pallas Athena, in that sense, is very much a planet of civilization.
Wow, that's a great take on it. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting, right? And here she is in Aries, another very independent sign, and conjunct the sun, which, as ruler of Leo, you mentioned a little while ago, Julia, is very much about like individual sovereignty, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Pluto, and Pluto is all about getting mixed up with other people, exploring intimacy, crossing boundaries, digging deep into oneself and others, undergoing death and rebirth experiences, transformation and metamorphosis, and feeling all of the passion and the intensity that this planet Pluto can bring. So Pluto is like downright transgressive and intense and passionate and kind of boundaryless. It is a water planet after all. And then Pallas Athene is there like the virgin wearing her armor. Right? So quite a dilemma there, quite a battle going on there.
Yeah.
What do you think about it, Julia?
Well, Pluto, I think the good news is both Pluto and Saturn and Juno are very committed planets. So there's a lot of commitment in this full moon, but that Pluto squaring both the sun and moon, that Pluto can really bring on some power struggles. I definitely see a little bit of just kind of like, no, my boundary's here. No, it's over here. No, I'm going to do, there's a little bit of this power struggle, but with a sense of commitment, like no one's running away, no one's leaving. It's but there can be a little intensity.
So the commitment can provide a container for holding all of that intensity and working it out.
Yes, exactly.
And I would think, with Pluto poised between and T-squaring that full moon, that sun moon opposition, emotions are likely to run high during this.
Oh, yes,
for sure. All right. So this moon, of course, falls in cardinal signs. And if you have anything in your chart anywhere near 26 degrees of a cardinal sign, meaning as early as 21 degrees or as late as 29 degrees, and also even spilling over into the beginning of a fixed sign, then you're going to be feeling this moon. I think that's all we have about this, right, Julia?
Yes, it is.
All right, well, hope you enjoyed this video about the full moon in Libra. This video lives on our website, pandoraastrology.com, on the forecast page, and you can find it on our YouTube channel too, in the April 2022 news playlist there. And if you want to check us out, we are pandoraastrology.com, where you can get classes and readings, and find inexpensive recordings to tell you a lot more about yourself. And until next time, we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye.
Bye-bye.